I'm Alex Weathersby, and this is my web series review for the Roedell Project. This is an original vlog-style series about the members of an LGBTQ+ fraternity at the fictional Roedell University. Some things that I really liked about this web series were the quality of the picture and the audio. I've seen Losers and Bruisers other projects, so I've seen Any Other Vlog, I've seen Just a Reminder, I have reviews for both of those already. It's been really awesome to see both how in acting and writing and just like I said earlier, the picture and the audio quality, to see how all of that's been getting better, how they've been experimenting with new and different things. I just feel really privileged to be able to see their growth by viewing all these different projects that they've been doing since they were in high school and now that they're a little bit older. I also really liked the representation in the series. Most of the cast is LGBTQ+, and several are also people of color. Dylan, one of the two leads, is a pansexual demigirl. There's also a character who engages in polyamory and has two boyfriends. There's also lesbian and bisexual characters. I felt like the representation was really great, and it didn't feel like anyone was in a very special episode where their whole role is to teach the other characters about tolerance or anything like that. The reason that Dylan and Ava are making this project is that they compile all of this footage and then give it to an editor whose identity is not disclosed to them, and then the editor has to create a coherent storyline with the footage that they're given. So I really liked that meta element of storytelling and giving someone else the power to control your narrative, and having that sort of extra layer to a web series where how the audience maybe perceives a story differently than the writers or the actors or the editors portray it to be. I just felt like that was a really interesting element to this web series. I really liked the balance between Ava and Dylan's characters. It was kind of a classic opposites attract sort of thing. I really liked how that was played off, not even just with how they live their lives, but then also the fact that they both have very different needs in a friendship. So Dylan maybe isn't as open about their feelings and doesn't necessarily handle direct affection as well, whereas Ava states very explicitly that when she's feeling badly, she wants to be hugged, she wants to be comforted. It wasn't solely based on, oh, Dylan's kind of more of a clownish character and Ava's a little more uptight. It also just played into how they respected each other's boundaries. So I thought that was really cool. Some things that I didn't like about this web series or felt could have been done better was that I felt like Em and Max and other characters of color, I was disappointed that they were sort of regulated to more secondary roles. I would have liked to see more of a true ensemble cast, or at the very least have one of the main characters be a person of color. I also felt the audio L cuts were distracting. An L cut is when you hear other dialogue or other audio from another clip, but the clip hasn't switched yet, so the audio from clip A is layered over the very end of the picture of clip B, if that makes sense. I also wish that we could have seen more of the frat itself and the frat members. I was expecting it to play a much larger role in the general plot of the series, and I felt like for the most part, while it was plot relevant to some degree, I didn't really feel like I had a super great representation of what it was about and why it was so important for all of the characters. So I would have liked to get a little more depth of it, especially since there was a lot of mockumentary opportunities in this web series. On another note, I felt like the pacing for this web series was a little slow at some points, so I would have liked to see a more snappy storyline. I would watch this series if you like transmedia series. Part of this series was including other information on a website that was supposedly compiled by the editor. So it was really interesting to have that element of us as the audience seeing this multi-layered narrative where we're first seeing the footage as it has been shot, obviously, but then also knowing that what has been edited was edited in universe by another character. So there's an extra layer of a perspective. This is also one of the only series that I've seen that uses Snapchat as part of their transmedia. Most other series will use Twitter or Facebook, so it's not necessarily common to do other video transmedia. So if you really like transmedia series, this is a good series for you to watch. If you like original series instead of literary inspired or literary based web series, then this is a really good web series for you. A sort of con of literary inspired and literary based web series are that you generally know the plot points, you have some idea how the ending's gonna go. If a character shows up, then it's less of a shock if you're like, oh, I read the book, so I know this character ends up being evil or something like that. So if you really like original series because you don't know what's going to happen, so there's more of that suspense and tension there, then this is a really good series for you. And if you really like slow burns, the classic people meet and don't get along immediately and then over time realize that they actually have a lot of respect and affection for each other, then this would be a really good web series for you to watch. If you prefer series with supernatural elements, then I would maybe skip this series. This is a very real life series, so there are no supernatural elements whatsoever. If you prefer series that are more of a mixed style or cinematic style, which I personally call TV style, then this isn't the web series for you. Everything in the series is either vlog or mockumentary, I guess. So even though there is some interesting narrative with how it is edited, everything is done primarily with the audience interacting with the characters. So if you prefer not to have that element, then this isn't the web series for you. And if you would prefer for there to be more setting variety, so maybe two characters at two completely different colleges with two completely different friend groups, then this isn't the web series for you. The majority of the series takes place at a single university that is fictional. A lot of the episodes center being either in someone's room, someone's car, walking around on campus. So there's not as much setting variety in this series as there might be with other series, especially cinematic web series. As always, I will put the link for the web series in the description box. So if you have any commentary or you have recommendations for more web series for me, I'll also put my Tumblr in there, or you can comment them here. So yeah, have a good rest of your day.